The Genshin community has finally been able to get an appointment with Dr. Baizhu, and my god, the doctor is looking in tip-top shape. In this vid, we're gonna see if C0 Baizhu has the cure we've been looking for all this time. His build for the entire video will be a very free-to-play accessible one, rocking an R5 prototype Amber, 4-piece Deepwood memories with HP main stats, and he will be at C0 with talents 8, 8, 9. Starting off with Baizhu's normal attacks, which are actually a lot more important than you may think, but they are slow, low damage, and melee range. All signs point to them being bad, but why would Hoyoverse make them so bad in the first place? The answer, Nahida competition. The ability to apply consistent Dendro at the click of a button over and over and over again is a very valuable thing. So, can he compete as a Dendro driver on Hyperbloom? Spoilers, he can, but we'll get more into team comps a little bit later. For Baizhu's skill, Universal Diagnosis, he throws out an ethereal spooky snake. It's gonna hit 3 times, bouncing between enemies if there are multiple, or it will just hit the same enemy 3 times in a row if there's only one. After those 3 attacks, the little ethereal Dendro snake will come back to the active character and it will heal your whole party. The heal scales with HP, but the damage is going to scale with attack. The cooldown is somewhat long at 10 seconds, and it seems to only generate about 3 energy particles on cast. And it will only apply Dendro once to each target. So if there's only 1 enemy, 1 instance of Dendro, 3 enemies, it will apply Dendro to each of them once. Baizhu's burst, Holistic Revivification, immediately creates a small, and I mean small, shield. Every 2.5 seconds, it will refresh this shield up to the burst's entire duration of 14 seconds. So either when the shield refreshes and replaces the shield you still had, or when the shield breaks, it's gonna break, it will deal damage as well. So you'll get about 6 attacks out of this burst duration. But once again, the shield and heal scale with HP, the damage with attack. Like I said, these shields are tiny, like less than 1k health tiny, but these shields are not bad. Don't get it twisted. They provide something else beneficial to the team, and that is interruption resistance. Whether your shield breaks or not when it gets hit, as long as you have the shield on, your character will not get knocked back. His first talent, 5 Fortunes Forever, is pretty basic. If your active character has less than 50% of their HP, he's gonna gain 20% healing bonus, and if it's over 50%, he gains 25% Dendro damage. But his A4 passive is where it gets juicy. All things are of the earth. When a character is healed by his burst, they gain the Year of Verdant Favor effect, which is pretty much for each 1k HP Baizhu has up to 50k Burning Burgeon Bloom, and Hyperbloom damage is raised by 2%, and aggravate spread damage goes up by 0.8%. AKA, if you have 50k HP, all the burning and bloom stuff gets a 100% damage increase, while aggravate and spread get 40%. This sounds like an insane amount, but with how Genshin does its multiplicative, additive, mumbo jumbo with elemental damage, it's not an insane increase, but it is solid nonetheless. Baizhu works great with someone who's been known to be hard to work with, Cyno. With Baizhu's burst duration being about 14 seconds, applying Dendro off field, and providing a shield, it goes perfect with the Screen Hog Electro DPS Cyno. Rotations with any Cyno team can be a bit tough, but Cyno teams have a new addition to the cast in Baizhu. So like I teased a bit earlier, Baizhu can work as a Dendro driver for Hyperbloom. Providing a shield and heals for Hyperbloom is always appreciated, and on-fielding Dendro is extremely valuable if you are not able to use Nahida. While he's not the perfect option for Hyperbloom, seeing as his attacks are slow, melee, and single target, Hyperbloom is just that good, and he still gets the job done. By the way, in all these clips, I didn't even use Dendro Traveler once, just to show how Baizhu was carrying his weight on a 3-man squad. Baizhu comfortably makes his way onto any Unga Bunga Aggravate spread team as he provides amazing utility and damage increases for very little screen time. There's not much to say here besides pop in your favorite Electro and Dendro DPSs, Animo supports, or even another healer for more comfortability, and just get to it. A lot of people are hyped for Baizhu on Nilou teams, but I have to say this doesn't feel like his best team. He absolutely can work, but I do have a few reservations. Unfortunately, his shields are going to be getting popped by your own Bountiful Cores, so the stagger resistance he applies is going to be pretty negligible here, as well as the heals. They're going to be a bit overkill if you're playing your Barbara, Kokomi, or Yao Yao right. To sum up Baizhu's kit, let's start with the pros. He's got Dendro Catalyst, normal attacks. He has a whole party heal on skill. He has off-field, single target Dendro application, off-field heal to the on-field character, a situational massive buff to Dendro reactions from his A4 passive, and just the fact that he's Dendro. Getting into the cons, his normal attacks are melee, they're slow, and they have no AoE. His skills cooldown is a bit long, so generating enough energy can be an issue. His shields are also very small. They only refresh every 2.5 seconds, leaving time in between to get hit and, knocked down. His burst Dendro application is pretty much single target, kind of low, and he has split scaling, okay, with the heals and shields based on HP and his damage being based on attack. And going off of that, his A4 passive incentivizes the HP percent build, making him seem like he's going to do even less damage than we want. So final things to note about Baizhu, he's going to shine the most on single target damage teams like Cyno or any other Aggravate or Quicken teams, as well as making a great argument on Hyperbloom, but not so much on AoE heavy teams like Burgeon or Bloom with how his burst works. His energy problems can be tough, so do not be afraid to run an ER Sands on him or even Favonia's Codex to help him out. And keep in mind when you build HP for maximum heal, shield, and his passive's damage increase effect, just know he's not going to be a, damaging powerhouse himself. Homies, thank you guys so much for watching my C0 breakdown of Baizhu. Are you guys gonna be pulling for Baizhu? Let your boy know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, maybe even drop a like, I would appreciate that very, very much. Big shout outs to the patrons supporting your boy over on Patreon so that I can continue to make full-time content here on YouTube and Twitch. Ken, Caldo, Meow, Cloudy, Gophers, and everyone else, I appreciate you guys very, very much. And hey, I'm probably live on Twitch right now streaming Baizhu's release, so come through, drop a follow, maybe a Twitch Prime. I appreciate you guys very much. I'll see you next time. Peace.